Between time zones, spotty Wi-Fi, and pastries calling your name, working abroad can be chaos until you do this.
Here are our 5 tips and tricks to staying productive while working remotely.
Welcome back to Rootless Roads. Nice. If you haven't seen any of our videos before, my name is Dominic, this is Natalie, and we are currently slow traveling through Europe. Slow traveling to us basically means staying in each spot for around 4 weeks at a time, so we can actually really slow down, embrace, and explore everything each city has to offer. Yeah. Definitely not everything. A month is still not enough time, but it's more than a few days. For context on this video, I run an e-commerce agency called DM Corporations. I've been doing this for close to 10 years now. It's been pretty awesome, but it obviously comes with a lot of work, a lot of management. I'll get into a little bit more on how I manage that and what that actually entails here soon, but I'll let Natalie talk about what she does as well.
Yeah, so I started a social media marketing agency shortly before we came out here and did this. So that's what I do during our work hours of the day, as well as pour time into this content. So it's kind of a double-edged sword right there of what I do. All has to do with content and social media in the grand scheme of things. But yeah.
So we have been doing this for a little while now, so we're going to go through a few of the things that have really helped us establish a routine and actually make sure that we maintain our businesses and don't let them just fall apart while we're traveling, so we can really continue to do this.
Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so tip number 1, which is kind of an obvious, is figure out your time zone. We are in the European time zone right now, so we're working 8 hours ahead of the US time zone, which is what all of our clients work within. So essentially how we do this is we have been treating our mornings like our evenings back home. So in the mornings we wake up, we go walk around, we sightsee, we grab coffee, we grab pastries, we go do all the things that would be in our normal itinerary, and then our evenings are what we set aside for our work hours. So how that has worked out for us is working from 2 to 3-ish is when we start, all the way through around 10 p.m. Obviously, it's ebbs and flows, and you have to flex into your schedule when more work time is needed. So that's something that just comes with owning your own company, is getting used to that. But that's been the time zone that works for us. One big thing that we have both been loving are our naps. Quick 20-minute power naps gives us a good reset to start our work day, which is technically an evening. But it just resets your mind. It gets you in the headspace of, I'm not tired, I can work until 10, 11 p.m. You can push through it because you got a good nap in there.
Yeah, so just a few other random tips, just some small things that have helped us are the nap. So really right before we start working, taking just a quick 30-minute nap. After waking up from that nap, we usually both drink coffee. We're both big coffee people.
Yes.
So usually have one coffee then, sometimes another coffee at like 5. I try to not drink caffeine too late. She doesn't care quite as much as I do. But some other stuff that we've seen that have helped is some like mini kind of snacks along the way, even some fizzy drinks, just some other things that kind of keep you going and engaged.
We're not big soda drinkers, so soda water and bubbly water, I think it's a carbonation that like when it hits your tongue, it wakes you up.
Yeah,
so that's something that we really enjoy. Yeah, I like my snacks.
Yeah.
So I'm a big snacker.
So yeah, obviously like music, ambient playlists, focus playlists, things like that. And then just the working schedule and setting timers and short breaks every now and then, which I'm gonna get more into here in a little bit. I'm a big optimization and productivity guy, owning a business for the last 10 years. I'm obviously really into that. So that'll be its own tip, but yeah, we'll get into tip number 2. Tip number 2 is create your anywhere office. So this was something that was really important to us when we were actually booking our Airbnbs. One thing that we made sure of is that all of our Airbnbs had multiple rooms, not necessarily multiple bedrooms, but just multiple rooms. So if the kitchen is separate from the living room, like ours is currently, and our bed lot is in the kind of loft, I think our next house in Prague actually is a 2-bedroom. We just wanted to have a space to ourselves. So if we're both on calls, we can have different rooms. And what that also helps us do is we can establish our office. So we didn't really talk about this. It just kind of happened as I've taken the kitchen table as my office, and she's taken, there's like a little reading nook with a window over here as her office. And that allows us to focus when we're sitting there. We're not distracted working in bed, moving around all the time. I do obviously get some work done on the couch and stuff like that. We're not super rigid with it, but it does help you snap into a focus period if you can have a set space. Now, if you are in a studio, you can still do the same thing, just somewhere in that studio. Try to make it your kind of set office. Yeah. But if it is possible to have multiple kind of areas to work with, that would be huge, because in Prague, we'll probably set that second bedroom as our office space. But I think that's all we have with 2 bedrooms right now.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Find your space.
Yeah.
So now we'll get into tip 3. These are going to be our work tools, things that we use to keep us productive, things that we use to keep us organized and working on a timely schedule. One big thing, and you introduced me to this app and I love it, is Trello. So Trello is an app where you can create a board, and on that board, it's a checklist of different tasks that you can assign yourself. We have ours set up to where it's weekly must do, daily must do, and then a done section. That's really nice because I can prioritize what tasks I need to get done for the day, what I'd like to get done. And then honestly, checking things off and putting them in the done column is just such a rewarding feeling. So having it lined out for you physically, it might be a mental game that I play with myself, but I love to see things get done and turn green and get checked off. So that's one big one.
Yeah, that one's huge. Having a productivity system like that has been an absolute game changer. I would have lost my business 10 times and more if I didn't have something that actually kept me organized. My Trello board is an absolute mess to an outside eye, but it keeps me systemized, keeps me going. I'd be happy to walk you guys through that at some point if that's what you're interested in. Another tool that we both really like is called Forest. It's an awesome app. I think it's $3 one time, but it actually goes to repopulating forests that have been chopped down, which is pretty cool. And what Forest allows you to do is it basically allows you to set timers or stopwatches to batch your work. Now, this is something that I'm really passionate about. If you know anything with flow state, anything with deep work, focused work versus just working to say you're working, that's something that's been immensely important to myself over the last 10 years, and especially while we're here, because neither of us necessarily want to sit down and work for 10 hours a day, even 8 hours a day while we're in Europe. We want to optimize the time that we're working as much as possible. So one way that we do that is by setting these focus blocks. So we've really been dialing in on 90-minute blocks. So in Forest, you set a timer for 90 minutes, and in that 90 minutes, we work with 0 distractions, 0 social media, 0 anything else. All we are doing is just working. A lot of the times I'll even silence notifications and batch my responses to clients, do things like that. And the amount that you can get done in that 90 minutes is absolutely wild when you have no distractions. And then if you do 2 of those, 3 of those, the amount of work that you can get done in just 4.5 hours is substantial. What we've been doing as well in between that is we'll take anywhere from 5 to say 30-minute break. We'll do errands, put laundry away, run around, clean up, go on a walk, play cards, hang out, just something to take our mind off of the work a little bit. And that's really allowed us to be extremely productive and efficient with our time, which has been key.
Yeah, it creates a good repetitive cycle.
Yeah.
Okay, and now we'll get into tip number 4. This is reward yourselves. So working abroad and remotely is not all about work. We're doing this so we can live and travel and experience things. So a big part of that is planning around our weekends. We really like to optimize our time on the weekends to forget about work, put work aside, and go experience, go sightsee, go meet people, do things that we're in Europe to do.
Yeah, and even the weekdays. I mean, that's been really important to us too. We didn't come to Europe just to work 5 days a week and only have 2 days to actually go explore. We've been here 3 weeks now. We haven't had a single day where we haven't actually gone out and done something. Sometimes it's as small as just going to a library and reading. Sometimes it's just going to a cafe, getting some coffees and pastries. We've also done some big stuff on weekdays as well. We went to the baths on a Thursday. We've done all sorts of stuff that's unique and fun. And that's been really important to us too, is making sure that we didn't just move here to work the entire time. So yeah, reward yourself and actually have fun.
Yeah. One of the things that we love the most to reward ourselves with are pastries.
Big time.
I love our coffee and pastry outings in the mornings. They're so fun. And when in Europe, you got to try all the pastries, right?
The last tip is going to be protect your energy and stay flexible. Not everything is going to go smoothly every single day of the week. Wi-Fi is going to go out. We're going to get tired. We're going to get annoyed with our work. We're not going to want to work on certain days. Things are just a constant roller coaster. And I mean, we see the same things even when we're working on a normal schedule back in the US. So instead of fighting that, we just try to build some flexibility into our schedule. Some days we may work a little bit later in the day. Maybe we don't start work until 4 or 5 and then we work a little later. Or we just work less that day. Some days we may work earlier in the morning and stop. It just depends. We're very flexible. Now, I do want to say that is something that we are able to do by owning these companies. We don't have to clock in, clock out, where if you did have to do that, I'm sure you can make it work, but we are able to be a little bit more flexible. We just kind of strive for consistency over perfection. Back even to tip number 3 with the Forest app is I would much rather spend 4 hours working very focused in flow state versus just dragging it out to 9 or 10 hours of crappy work. The amount that I'll actually get done in that 4 hours will be more than that 10 hours of crappy work. So yeah, that's a big one, is stay flexible and understand that not everything is going to be perfect every single day.
Yeah, it's true. It's just like life. So those are our 5 tips for working remotely. We would love for you guys to comment down below on what works for you.
Yeah, subscribe if you want to follow along on our journey. We are going to try to be posting more and more as we continue this. We really do want to turn this into something that we really take on full steam ahead. So
yep,
we'll see you in the next one.
See ya.